I'm going to share my screen again because our next presenter is going to talk about a little bit more information about keeping yourself informed. I don't even know if he needs an introduction, but he probably might. Anyways, Danny Grant. Danny is the CSPA Coaching Working Committee. He is the new chair of that committee, but he's been involved in our sport also a very long time, despite looking so young. And he holds so many ratings and all that kind of stuff. So, he's the man with everything other than the PFFI, which we really need to change. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Danny, the floor is yours.
Thank you for that. I don't have any screen to share, so we can all just stare at each other's beautiful faces here. Thank you for that introduction. Are you still around? Can you unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Emily, how many jumps do you have?
68.
68. And what COP do you have?
A.
A.
Yeah.
And where's your logbook right?
It's in a bin with all my skydive stuff.
It's with your skydive stuff, so it's with you
Yeah.
at the drop zone.
Yes.
Excellent. I love to hear it. What was the last jump you did?
It was a two-way with Brandon in Dubai.
Oh. That was not the answer I expected. Awesome. And the fact that you got to jump to Dubai with those jump numbers, like that's a memory worth holding, which is one of the huge reasons to keep logging your jumps. My last jump was 2009. It was just this weekend, and I still log every jump I do. Probably not in the same detail as you might, but it's an important thing to do. There's a lot of memories to be had there, which I think at the end of the day is what's gonna be the most important thing for a lot of people when we eventually, unfortunately, leave the sport. This is a book of memories. But in your case, it's a lot more than that. Why do you log?
I log to track what I've done so I can work towards my B, so I have the right jumps and requirements to move forward.
Totally. That is 100% the correct answer right out of the book, not this book or any actual book. It's not down anywhere, but that's why we do it. We want to track our progression. And as people have been repeating all night, making that progression productive and safe. I see your message there, Dustin, and we also keep you happy as the COP processor, but it helps keep us online. Now, for myself as a coach and the many other coaches out there, especially if they're like me and they move around between the drop zones on the island, you guys are lucky to have multiple drop zones. So, people change places and you see new faces. We can't know everything about everyone. In your example, how many coaches have you worked with so far since your first jump to now?
Quite a few, probably 10.
That's a lot, and that's
Yeah.
awesome. That kind of variety is awesome, and there's give and takes with it. If you can work with one person, you get to really know each other, and they get to know you, and we can push your progression really fast. But the reality is that's not always how it goes. So from the coaching point of view, being able to grab your logbook and look back in it and see what your coaches said about you, what you said about your own progress, and how you did with the different maneuvers, where you struggled, where you excelled, what you spent a lot of time working on, what you didn't need to spend time working on, feeds us, your coaches and instructors, a wealth of information so that we can start catering our abilities as coaches to your ability as someone who's learning so that we can keep pushing you forward. So I'm super glad to know that you know where your logbook is. Is every jump signed off?
No.
Oh, why not?
Well, not by coaches. Maybe other people I jumped with, they ran off before I could get their signature.
That's
but
right.
They're all signed off by coaches.
Yeah, not every jump needs to be signed off by a coach by any means. Trust me, if I needed 2,000 coach signatures, that would be a problem. I can't sign my own that way. But getting your jumps signed off by a certified skydiver, someone with some level of COP, is important. As you start, it sounds ridiculous saying this to you because you've been to Dubai, but like as you start traveling around to other drop zones, some drop zones become much more stringent into you having a complete logbook. From their point of view, from a safety liability point of view, they need to make sure that the person that they're letting onto their premise and using their aircraft and their landing area and jumping with their jumpers and their customers in the area is current and safe and certified to do what it is they want to do. And really, the only way that you can prove that is having your logbook and having it signed off. Any Joe Blow with a book and a pen can write out 1,000 jumps, but it's not really worth anything unless someone verifies it. Which jumps are signed off by your coaches?
Every single one I've jumped with them.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, and that's
Okay.
that's a great answer. And for the
Yeah.
coaches listening, stay on that, right? When we work as coaches with novices, it's for the novice's benefit. It's for Emily's benefit so that she can progress, so she can show how she has learned and grown and achieved what she needed for her COPs. And if we as coaches don't sign off those jumps and we don't sign them off properly, we're doing a disservice to people like Emily. Okay. So for the people who aren't coaches, for the people like Emily, when you do get coaching, especially for stuff specifically for your COPs, make sure your coaches sign your logbook and they sign it correctly. That means their name is there, their signature's there, their CSPA number is there, and their rating is there. That's the important information. So when people like Dustin, as the CSPA COP processor, get that information back, we can verify that, yes, you did the things you needed to do. Let's talk about progression. You've got an ACOP, probably pretty fresh at 60. When did you get your ACOP? How many jumps?
I got it. Yeah, about around 57.
Bet you wish you had a
And
logbook in front of you, hey?
yeah. Yeah, I haven't quite started my B, but I plan to this season.
And that's cool. There's
Yeah.
no need to go from one to the other to the other. You progress at your own pace. Again, people have said it over and over tonight. No one knows your skills quite as well as you do. And to the same tone, no one knows your progression rate and what it should be like you do. We all progress at our own rates. I was close to 2, maybe 300 jumps before I got a B Cop. So, just go as fast as you want, but do it safely, do it properly. There are resources available to us to help guide us through a safe progression to get our COPs, to learn the more advanced disciplines. Are there any disciplines that you're interested in, things that you're pursuing, things you want to do in the sky?
I'd like to do belly. I used to say free fly. I still would like to try that, but I just want to stick with one thing that I'm already working on. So yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I myself, mainly a belly flyer and some wingsuit. I can free fly, but it's not super pretty. I'm seeing lots of yay belly in the chat. I love it. So you got lots of support at your drop zone for that. But to get your B Cop, to work towards bigger group jumps, do you know what resources are available to you if you decided to do some self-directed learning?
No.
Oh, perfect. I was worried you were going to have all the answers, Emily. Great. So for all the coaches and all the novices out there, things that are fantastic tools for the novice skydivers, PIM2A and PIM2B, fantastic sources of information. And for everyone here, PIM2A maybe sometime this year is going to get released with brand new content, brand new images, and it's not going to look like it was photocopied from a typewriter in the 90s. It has been fully refreshed as of this winter. It's just getting prettied up now. Those are both available on the CSPA website. Tons of information in there, but they are targeted towards people working towards their ACOP, that's PIM2A, and people working towards their BCOP, that's PIM2B. Took me years before I learned that 2A is for ACOP, 2B is for BCOP. You're now all smarter than I was 10 years ago. So those are two great resources to start with. There's also the CSPA skills grid. It lists out all the basic skills you need working towards each of your COPs. You can find that in PIM2A. I don't think it's in PIM2B anymore, but it's definitely in PIM1. It's probably like your granddaddy of basic information to pursue. There's some other great resources available to you, and you obviously got access to a lot of them because you've worked with at least 10 of them, you say, and that's your coaches, your C1s, your C2s, the instructors, the PFFIs. All the rating holders out there have strong knowledge, good skills, the ability to teach adults, and they can be a wealth of information to help you progress. So definitely lean on them, but if you're a self-directed learning kind of individual, look at the PIMS. There is so much good information there.
Okay.
So answer that question. All right, I don't know how I'm doing for time, but I'm just gonna push on. Talk about ratings, talking about coaches. Have you ever thought about coaching, Emily?
Yeah, I have.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like my experience with starting skydiving could encourage others, and um I have a passion for the sport now, and yeah.
That is fantastic to hear. I really do encourage almost everyone to go pursue even just a coach one. It's a very basic coach rating. There's not a lot really to the course in terms of skydiving, but there is a lot of content in there towards understanding who you're working with, being able to efficiently share ideas and teach people new skills and evaluate their ability to perform those skills. But more than anything, and this kind of reflects on my experience, again, 200-300 jumps before I had a BCOP, is the ability to give back to the sport. We are a very, very small community. Across Canada, I think we're under 3,000 people. And that community really is built on giving back and mentorship, right? We all learn from those who have more experience than us, who have been around longer than us, learn things that we haven't learned yet. And as skydivers, coach ratings or not, let's be honest, we all love talking about skydiving, and we're basically all willing to help someone here and there, help them with their packing, help them plan their jumps, help them learn new exits and what have it. I rarely go to a drop zone anywhere in the world and hear someone ask a question that doesn't get answered. Now, where rating system comes in is it is very heavily leaning on teaching adults the ability to teach adults, as kind of mumbled up as that sounds. We all have the information and skills, but it's that ability to pass it on and mentor others that really makes our system strong and helps us develop what is actually world-class athletes. So if you do want to get a coaching rating, keep working towards that BCOP. That's all you need to start the C1 course. Is just the BCOP, 50 jumps. That's it. It's a very easy program to enter, and I do encourage anyone who's interested in it to go ahead and pursue it. We've got more and more LFs coming on board on the island there. You've got 2 in training, so hopefully in the next season or 2, the coaching programs are going to be that much more accessible. But if you've ever got questions about the rating system, ask Dustin first, because then he's just going to ask me anyways, but you can always reach out to me. And that's all I've got. Emily, thank you for playing along with me. I planned none of this up until I asked you about it about half an hour ago. So thank you for playing along.
Yeah, thank you.
If anyone has any questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Danny Grant. I'm going to, oh, sorry, Gord keeps yelling because I don't have my video on. Hello.
I think I see a hand up. Leah?
Yeah. Let me just look at hands. Did we have a hand? Do you have a hand?
I thought so. I could have been seeing something. I've got too much screen in
Oh,
front
I
of me.
have people clapping for you.
Oh.
Yay.
Thank you, everyone.
Danny, thank you so much. I'll let